All right. Hello,
Okay.
everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast. I'm your host, Jono, and I am super excited because we've got an absolute rock star on the line this week. A little bit about this person. She helps people make $500 by selling digital courses they didn't create. She's very successful at it personally. In her first month of doing this, she made something like $27,000 in that month there. And today, she's going to share the story of how she did it and also give you tips on what you can do if you want to do the same. So, without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Dray, whose surname I can't pronounce. Dray, how are you?
I am amazing. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you, and I'm super excited. This is my first podcast on the topic, so I'm excited because I love to talk. So
There
you
we
you
go.
made
That
a
means
good choice.
we'll get the best as well. Because once you've done a few podcasts, you've told the same story a million times. You get bored of it,
Okay,
yada
yeah.
yada yada. But we're getting you fresh, so that
You're gonna
is
get the most organic, yeah, the most organic, because I am still technically a baby in this industry, but I definitely had a lot of transferable skills. So yeah.
awesome. Let's get into it. Before we actually get into your story, just give a little bit of background. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Awesome. So I was originally born in Europe, in Serbia, and I immigrated to Canada when I was 6. I lived in Canada majority of my adult life, and then I moved out to Miami about 2 years ago. Once I started working online, I literally just for the weather. So, and I have a lot of experience in business, a lot of failed businesses. I've done all sorts of things like jewelry and HVAC and a lot of different types of businesses. And I found my first really, I would say, success in network marketing, which is what I was doing before I got into digital marketing. And yeah, that's a little bit of a behind the scenes about me, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm interested in the concept. We can probably do this podcast two different ways. Let me know which one works better for you, Dre, because your concept is quite different. Most people listening to this podcast will want to make money online, so they'll create an online course themselves, and it may or
Mhm.
may not sell for different reasons. You've kind of got a different strategy. Yours is kind of like, hey, instead of creating that online course yourself, here's one that's already done, it's already good, it's already in demand, sell that there. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to go back and tell us your story about how you got into that, how you found it, or do you want to tell us a little bit about that system in general? What
Yeah,
works
I
better
can
for
do
you?
both. We can do both. So I'll tell you first how what caught my eye, and then I'll
Yeah,
tell you what I think about the business model. Because
yeah,
ultimately, I fell in love with that. But I fell in love with the business model because I think it's so accessible for so many people.
yeah,
I think the digital marketing space in general, creating digital products is genius. And I've
yeah,
known about this for years now. Okay. And I've wanted to create a digital product for a very long time. But if you're like me, you might have some ADHD symptoms, you might be a little bit of a perfectionist, and you might be a thinker and you don't get stuff done. And actually, it was crazy. I had this big influencer reach out to me, and I was going to collaborate on a course with him about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, something like that. And I wrote out all of like the template of it and what I was going to record, and I just never recorded it. Like
yeah,
literally,
yeah.
I never recorded it, and it was going to be a Reels course. And by the time that I went to
Oh, yeah.
record it, I felt like my
Changed.
skills changed and I wasn't as good anymore.
Yeah,
So I felt like the imposter syndrome come in, and then I never ended up doing it.
yeah.
But I had wanted to create a digital product because I had known so many people. I had a friend who created a manifestation course, and she literally made $800,000
Woo.
uh, in her first year. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it was a $50 course. Okay,
yeah.
a
Wow.
$50 course, and it was literally like a 7-page PDF. It
Yeah,
wasn't even like in depth, like, and she made so much money, and I was like, whoa, like I was like so enchanted by it. But again, I just didn't have an idea, and if I did have an idea, I didn't execute it, and I didn't feel
yeah,
like I was expert enough at like any
yeah,
given topic, at
yeah,
the time. And it was just overwhelming to think of my own topic. And then I
yeah,
started, like I told you, I'd been in network marketing, so I've built online before. I've built teams. I've sold online before, but never anything digital.
mm.
And this year I had a really tough year. I actually lost my brother in February, so I
Oh,
took.
sorry about that.
Thank you. I took like about 6 to 8 months, around 6 months off work. Like I didn't
Mm.
work at all.
Yep.
And obviously with that, you lose so much motivation, and
Yeah,
like I was just like, I literally didn't want to do anything. Like I just wanted to be in bed all the time. And I was kind of beating myself up about it. And then because I'm a workaholic, I like to work, I like to produce. So the fact that I didn't have a desire to do that was like eating me up inside. But I was like, you know
Mm.
what? I'm just gonna allow myself to like dwell in this like not working mode, whatever. But when the right opportunity comes up, when I get excited about something, I'm going to run with it. And
Mm.
that's what happened. I started seeing these girls posting online, and they were in I had known them from previous, like we were in the same
Yep.
company before. And I started seeing one of my friends, she made 5 grand her first month.
Mm.
And I was like, 5 grand in a month.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I know how long that took me to build in network marketing, like
Yeah.
months and months of like hustling. So the fact that somebody could literally get 5 grand in their first month, I was like, this has to,
Did you
like, it intrigued me.
did you know
And then
that
I
they
thought,
did you know that it wasn't their course at that time as well? Because that's the other
yeah,
thing. 5 grand in a month
yeah,
is great to start with anyway, but you didn't even create the thing. Even better.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and for her, it was a mixture of affiliate marketing and selling this
Oh,
course,
gotcha.
but
Yep.
she was doing affiliate marketing for courses, right?
Yep. Yep.
And either way, I was just like, this is crazy. Like, and she had a similar following, similar skill sets. I was like, bro, if she can make 5 grand, like I can
Yeah.
make at least like 2 grand. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, come on, I can do it. And then I started seeing another girl who made like, I think in her second month, like 200 grand. But this
Woo.
girl had like over 100K followers. So
Oh,
obviously I
yep.
can't relate myself
Yeah.
to
Yep.
her. But
Yep.
I was like, okay, definitely money's rolling in with this thing.
Yeah.
And then I saw this girl, and this is the one that sold me, who literally, and I know this is a crazy result. She's
Yep.
actually the one who's made the most money with the course that I'm selling. And
Okay.
she made $800,000 in 3 months.
Wow.
Now, she had network marketing experience. She was
Yeah.
previously a top income earner in a big network marketing
Yeah.
company where she was making over 100 grand a month. So
Yep.
she knew how to market.
Yeah.
But the
And she
catch
probably had a
that
following.
she did, but the catch
Yeah.
that caught me is her company, her network marketing company, didn't allow her to use her existing Instagram
Oh,
as
wow.
she would lose her paycheck.
Yeah. Okay.
He started a brand new Instagram with no followers and no cross promoting, meaning she didn't use her existing Instagram
Yeah.
to promote her new page. And she made that amount of money. I was like, nah.
That's
I was like, there's
crazy.
no way. This
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
800 grand with a course she didn't create. Like, I can make at least
Yeah.
5 grand a month. Like,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
make
Yeah. Yeah.
five, maybe like if maybe 10, but like at
Yeah.
least five. I got this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really what struck my interest. And in the beginning, I was like skeptical, and I was looking at it and I was like, it's kind of cringy. It's kind of this. And then I was like, bro, making money is not cringy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I just researched more of it. And then I fell in love with the business model because, like I told you before, I had
Yep.
been demotivated for months. I've not been doing anything. And then I knew I had always wanted to create a course, but to see the fact that you could take somebody else's course and resell
Yeah.
it. And with the model that I do, which is called MRR, which stands for Master Resale Rights, the course that I sell, when you buy it, it's $500 or $497 or whatever. When
Yep.
you buy it, you also get the master resale rights, which is basically just a legal clause that means that you're allowed to resell the same course for 100%
Mm.
profit.
That's great.
Right? So I would pay for it once, $500, and then every time I sold it, I would make $500, and I didn't
That's
even
great.
make the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. That's
it
great.
was like it was insane to me, and I was like,
Yeah.
hey, so many people are gonna love this because so many people are like me.
Yeah.
They're too scared to make their own course, or they're not
Yeah.
taking action, or whatever. And people were poo-pooing it in the beginning. They were saying like, oh, it's not like you should make your own. It's not good to sell somebody else's. And I'm like, come on, you guys do affiliate stuff for
Yeah.
Amazon. You
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
freaking recommend
But
it. Like
even
if
in
you're a
general,
network marketing.
but Dre, even in general, my background is in fitness, right? If I go to a gym and I like that gym, I'm going to tell other people about that gym, right? Because
Exactly.
I like the thing. And if I happen to get some money from that, so be it. Because I saved the gym doing their marketing or whatever it is.
There you go. So
Yeah.
this model's, but people were it was just people who didn't want to join. That's what it was, that were
Yeah.
saying things. But in
Yeah.
my head, I'm like, hey, I see this as a solution for somebody who was just like me, who
Yeah.
wanted to course, who wanted to make an extra income online,
Yep.
but didn't know what to create it on, or
Yep.
just couldn't get to the action part of it.
Yeah.
So how I saw this is, okay, I could build up my skills because I
Yep.
never sold a digital product before.
Yep.
I could build up, my skills in the way that I market it, in the way that I present it on social media. I
Yep.
could understand how the course work, how it's set up. Like I can understand how to
Yeah.
build websites and how to build funnels and how to do email marketing.
Yep.
I can basically learn all of these skills while I'm making money. So when I'm ready to make my own course, like I already built up the skills and I'm going to be way more
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just how, that's kind of, it was a little long answer, but that's how I got into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's been crazy. Like I was not expecting such quick results, but again, I do have a background in
Yeah.
social media, and then I ended up creating my own course. I don't know if you knew that part.
There we go. I didn't know that. No.
There you go. So you didn't know that part. But let's first talk about this, and I could tell you about the course that I created after. But
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
have any
Yeah. Yeah.
questions about like how it does that make sense?
That makes sense. And I'll just add my 2 cents that I think will be good for listeners as well. The other key thing with that course there is there's already demand for it because
Yes.
everybody wants to make money online. All right. And a lot of people listening to this, maybe they've got a course in how to speak Spanish, how to speak Serbian, how to play the piano. And it's kind of like, yeah, maybe it will
It's a
fly.
niche. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like make money online. Everyone wants to do it. The only, I guess, question I have there, and whether we discuss that now or later, is maybe the level of competition. Because I'm just thinking of that. I still think it's a great option for someone starting off. It's a way better option than creating your own course and going from there. I guess my only kind of concern from my end would be, well, hold on. If anyone can purchase this course and then go and resell it, is there not just like a million people selling essentially the same thing? And then how do you kind of combat that, I guess? Or how do you put your, I'm guessing it's the branding, you kind of put your own positioning on it, your own story on it, or I guess, can you tell us there about how do you combat the
Yeah.
competition?
So people were saying like, oh, it's oversaturated because
Yeah.
what had happened is within my network, a lot of people that were doing network marketing kind of started doing this.
Yeah.
So people were, oh my God, it's so oversaturated, like everyone's doing it. And the thing is a market only feels saturated because you're in it,
Yeah.
not actually saturated. How many
Yeah.
millions of people are selling Amazon affiliates? Like the
Yeah.
market is not, we're saturated. It just feels like that because that's your network. That's who you're following, right? The 100, 200 people that you're following might be doing
Yeah.
similar things you're doing, but it really isn't. Because when I launched it, there were people that didn't even know about it, had never heard about
Yeah.
it.
I only well,
You would have thought,
I'll put it in there. I only heard about this like a couple weeks ago. I think when I started following you, and I've been in the
there you go.
online space for like 10 years.
And I'll tell you, there's at least like 100 people within my network that are doing it. So
Yeah.
that's just goes to show you that, like, at the end of the day, not like there's so many millions and billions of people in this world that like not everyone's gonna know like what it like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah. And I
I
think,
would
well,
say that's
I'll tell you a couple of things as well that I've kind of seen. I think, and this might be what's taught in the course as well, is kind of how you put yourself across there. Because let's say if you and me were selling the same course, like we might promote it totally different. I think you mentioned with yourself there were a lot of affiliate marketers, a lot of females that were kind of posting about it. That's fine, but like maybe if I was doing it, maybe I've got the male market, or I've got the
yeah.
fitness market, or maybe people can relate to me as a dad, where someone could relate to someone else as a young woman making money, or an older person making money, or I feel there's different kind of niches in there as well.
Yeah, I always say that like at the end of the day, other people can't take your customers because who's meant for you is meant for you. Like my
Yeah,
personality is not for everybody. I don't know
yeah,
how
yeah,
long you've been following, but I'm definitely out there. I'm definitely a little crazy. I be
yeah, yeah,
saying some crazy stuff. I don't know. I swear a lot,
yeah, yeah,
so my personality is not for everybody. And some people are
yeah,
gonna look at it and think I'm corny or
yeah,
that I'm annoying or whatever, but other people are gonna look at it and be like, yo, this girl is my vibe. So
yeah, exactly.
end of the day, like that's how I look at it. Like I'm simply marketing for myself and I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'm just trying to do it the best way that I can do it. And I know that my people will come to me.
Yeah.
Another thing that I did do is I told people this in a tip is I say try to add, like try to have some sort of value add. So since everybody is
Oh,
promoting the same
gotcha.
course,
Yep,
what I tried to do is I tried to value add, right? And
yep,
so you could do this by adding, there was one girl who added like a reels guide, right? On
yep,
top of the course. There was one girl who added like 20 content ideas, right?
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
what I noticed is that everybody was charging for their mentorship, right? That's what I noticed. Like you pay for the course and the course comes with a community, but they would charge an extra 30, 40 bucks a month to coach people. And I was like,
Mm,
why don't I value add and make my coaching free?
mm,
So anybody who bought the course for me would get into my mentorship chat for free, and I would answer their questions and host one call a week. And I made it free. And the reason I made it free is, number one, I want to help people.
mm.
Like I'm from network marketing, so I always
Yep.
came from that. I want to help people make money. And then number two, helping other people make money will in turn end up making me more money. One, because it's the law of the universe. When you help
Mm,
people make money, it comes back to you, or when you do good things come back to you. But also number two, what I've noticed is it's a marketing tool, right? Because sometimes people can't relate to me because I made, a pretty substantial amount of money my first month. So
mm.
some people may not be able to relate, but if I show 10 other people who bought the course from me who are already making money their first
Yeah,
month, it's
love
500
it.
bucks or 1,000 or 5,000,
Yep.
well, then case,
They're your
in that case,
testimonials.
exactly. And
Mm,
it builds that community factor. It has so many factors to it. So I had like a little value add to what I was selling. And that's
mm.
kind of what I recommended. But ultimately, like I said, it at the end of the day, it's so easy. Like I want to say
Mm,
that it's so easy that most people are not going to be consistent with it. Like
yeah,
most people are gonna buy the course, and by the way, not everybody resells the course, right? The course
yeah,
teaches you lots of things for automating your business and systems and website building, and
yeah,
it has over 200 videos. So it's not just to be sold, but
yeah,
that is just one aspect of it. So not number one, not everyone's selling it, and number
yeah,
two, the people that are, not everyone's going to stay consistent. Some people
yeah,
are going to get discouraged after the first couple of weeks and stop posting. So
yeah.
at the end of the day, success will favor the people who are persistent and who keep going and who don't stop, even if they are not making like a bunch of money their first month, right?
Mm,
And so it's always going to be a subsection of people that are actually going to like succeed and make money and stand out.
gotcha. All right. That's awesome. The model sounds awesome. I'm intrigued about it. I'm sure a lot of the listeners are going to be like, okay, this is juicy. I'd love to know how you did it as well, Dre. You started from a new account? Is that right? When you started
Yes.
reselling? Tell us about
Yes.
that. So you went from what, 0 followers and made 27,000 give or take in a month from scratch? Is that what you did?
Okay, so there's a disclaimer to that because I
Yeah.
did start my own Instagram account, but I didn't have any limitations, so I actually used my original
You could
account
leverage
to
your other
cross
one.
promote.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So I have an original account
Yep.
that
Can I
I
ask how
that
many
I built
followers
my
how many followers on
about
that?
about 25K.
Gotcha,
And so
okay.
I would cross promote, I would say
Yep,
about once a week, and I would
gotcha.
get some follower. That gave me my first like 500 followers. And then from
Yeah,
there, obviously people like you found me organically, and then other
yep,
people followed me from my other page. So I will say that does play a part.
yeah.
Definitely it wasn't all cold.
You need some kind of following to
You don't
start,
need
right?
it, but you don't need it, but you just have to be okay with growing slower if you're not using an
Yeah,
existing that you
yeah,
built,
gotcha. If you
right?
got no
And at the
following
same time,
yeah, if
if
you
at
got
the
no
same time,
fol
if I sorry.
no, sorry, no, you go.
No, I was saying at the same time, if I had used my original account, I probably would have made more money. But there
Yeah,
was a couple of reasons I didn't. But yeah, because not everyone follows, it's actually hard to
yeah.
transfer people onto a new account.
Yeah, 100%. So it's kind of like my what I'm hearing from there is like, if you've already got a decent following, this is a slam dunk. Go and do it. You know, the course is
Oh,
there. You've
yeah.
already got that
Yeah.
following. If you don't have a following already, that's okay. You can still build your following and sell this, but you're not making 27,000 in your first month
Exactly.
unless you've got an
Exactly.
existing skill set or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What kind of tips would you give those people, Dre? Let's say someone's listening to this, they don't have a large following at the moment. They like the idea of this. Um, what do they do? Just have to grind out for a couple months, or what kind of tips can you give them
Yeah.
there?
So I would recommend following people who started from nothing, and there's a
Mm,
few that I got inspired by because,
yeah,
like I said, I did have some experience. I've never sold a digital product before, I never built a website, but I did have experience on social media, so that kind of gave me a little bit of like a head start. But what inspires me, and even days when I get discouraged, is when I look at people that started from nothing, that were working a 9 to 5, and then started
yeah,
doing digital or affiliate marketing. And I have two people. that I follow that really inspire me. The first one is boss.bay.steph. And she sells a course, but she sells an affiliate marketing course. So it's a little bit different. But regardless of the fact, she started as a tech, working a 9 to 5 tech job, and then didn't make any money for like 6 months. I think she made like
Mm.
$80, $40 or something her first 6 months. But a year and a half later, she cleared $500,000.
Wow.
So that to me is like the power of consistency.
Yeah.
Another example, another girl that I really like, and she's my new favorite. I've been binging her content, is Megan with an H dot Kimberly. And this girl started from nothing. Like if you scroll back to the beginning of her TikTok, she has 100K on TikTok now. But if you scroll back to the beginning of her TikTok, she literally was like, I'm tired of everybody else making money. I'm going to try all of these things. I'm going to try FBA. I'm going to try courses. I'm going to try digital marketing. I'm going to try UGC. And she literally tried all the things. And
Mm.
again, she barely made any money her first month. And I think in her 8th month, she also cleared $500,000.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
again, it just shows you the power of consistency. And one reason why I love Megan is because she's not like that Instagram look of like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking
Good
about, that influence.
looking, hot girl.
Well, she's a good looking girl, but she's not
Yeah.
like in the sense of like an influencer. She's
Yeah.
literally just your average Joe type, like
Mm.
comes on with like a casual shirt and really
Yep.
just talks to the camera. Doesn't do any aesthetic stuff and all, and she's just so relatable. And
Mm.
that person, like when I saw her, I'm like, bruh, if she can make 500,000, there's no way I can't make 500,000. Like I'm gonna make like
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time. I may
Yeah.
not make it as quickly as her, but
Yeah.
it's if you're willing to stay consistent, if you're willing to just keep going, like I said, success cannot ignore the persistent. So,
Mm.
and if you want to find more examples that you relate to, just go on TikTok and search digital marketing and affiliate marketing and listen to people's stories. There are so many
Mm.
people that didn't make any money their first couple of months and then started making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, which is insane to me. Like that
Mm.
even motivates me. Like I'm like, because it to me it's very, very motivating. So I would say that. And I would say my other tip is I always say when you're new to social media, when you're new to posting, um quantity is more important than quality.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good point.
because everybody always tries to focus on getting the best aesthetics or
Yeah.
the best looking reel or the best. It just matters how many times
Yeah.
can you hit that post button. Okay, like,
Yeah.
and my recommendation is 2 to 3 times a day. Okay,
Yeah.
and I know
Wow.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's a
Of
lot, but
reels?
that's still
Is this of reels or is this stories
reels
or
or posts. Reels or
reels or
posts.
posts?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. So
Right
not
now
just
I'm
stories,
doing,
not enough. You got to do 3 reels or posts a day.
yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah. 3 reel. I currently do 3 reels, but I will be adding posts as well. But just
Yep.
3 times hit that send button a day. And I
Yeah.
know it's a lot. Like I even find it overwhelming, but it's the
Yeah.
hardest part of my day. And that's
Yeah.
like not that hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly. If the hardest thing in your day is posting a reel, like you got a pretty crazy
exactly.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something that you can do, like I said, part-time, but like
Yep.
again, just post because you get so focused on trying to be good. But at the end of the day, when you're a beginner, you're not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's not possible. So
Yeah.
just post through that through
You
that
will get better.
quantity, you will slowly achieve better quality,
Yeah.
right? But if you're waiting for perfect quality, you're just never going to post,
Yeah.
right? It's what it
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
those are, I guess, my 2 tips on that.
That's great. Awesome. All right, Dre. Well, that was awesome. Yeah, we got to hear your story, which is great. We got to hear about the master resale right strategy, which is great.
Yeah.
There's a couple questions I always like to finish off with. You answered one of them. I always like to say, hey, who are the best people to follow that you recommend? You've given us a
There you
few,
go.
Boss Babe Steph and Megan Kimberly. Anyone else you want to give a shout out, or would you say they're the top two we should follow? I know you've probably got 1,000 people you could reach out, but there any others that stand out?
Those are the two that I find most relatable as a beginner. But who I admire, who is more experienced, is Rebel Nutrition. I just
Oh
found her
yeah.
page recently. Do you know her?
Yeah, so she's got a fitness background. She's got courses in
Yeah.
fitness as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I just found her recently because one of my friends is obsessed with her.
Yeah.
and she's done like 8 million in course sales, and she's been doing it for I think like over 8 years or
Yeah.
something, or
Yeah. I've been following
a
her
long
for,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would say from a more seasoned person, her content is really good. Um, and yeah, the beginner ones are the beginner ones that I relate to. I mean, they're not beginners; they've
Yeah.
made 500,000, but you know what I mean. They're
Yep.
still technically only in their first or second year in digital marketing. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. The next question is like a go back in time one. So when you purchased the course, you purchased it for $500,
Yes.
knowing what an impact 497, awesome. Knowing what an impact that course has had on you, would you have purchased it for $1,000, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
$2,000. $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, I've made 27K, so probably anywhere up to like 5 grand.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. It's good. I like
Yeah.
to look back at that because sometimes it can be confronting at the start. You know, oh, $500, a lot of money, this and that. Knowing what you know, you would have paid 10 times for it.
I actually sat on it for a while. I
Yeah,
sat on it for a while because I really just wasn't sure. Like I'd never done anything like this before, and I sat on it for a while, which is crazy. Because once I started, my first week, I was like, yeah, I should have started this like 2 months ago.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
because it's been really amazing, and like I said, ultimately it led into me building my own course, right?
yeah,
Which I said I was going to mention, is basically it's also MRR. So I mimicked the model, but I
yeah,
completely changed the content of the course. And another tip for people who want to make their own course but are overwhelmed is you can kind of do what I did. Is I actually partnered with 6 of my friends who are really good on social media, and we created the course together,
mm,
all about social media and branding and how to sell online. It has like over 130 videos, but we were able to build out that course in less than a week because it was
yeah.
6 of us
Because you did
working
your
together.
bit. Yeah. What would
Yeah,
usually take 6 months, you do in a month. Or
exactly.
6
And
weeks, you do in a week.
you get to leverage each other's skills because
Yeah,
say I'm good at Instagram, but I'm not good at TikTok, right? TikTok
yeah,
does not
yeah,
look at me. But I have
yeah,
friends who have made so much money from TikTok, and they're the
yeah,
ones who film the TikTok videos. So
yeah.
you're leveraging each other's skills and you're getting it done faster. And yeah, and you guys can all sell it and make 100% of your own sales, right? That's
That's
another thing I
great.
recommend. That's what I did with my second course, and that ended up doubling my sales
Yeah.
ultimately.
Well, it's kinda like I'll tell you a couple things with that. Like, the system works because it's kinda like if somebody wants to learn digital marketing, it's kinda like, right, I can pay a course, I can pay $500 and learn how to do it via a course, or I can pay $500, learn how to do it via a course and sell that course to bring in more
There you
revenue.
go.
It's kinda like a bonus, you know? So, it makes sense that double would make there. And I just
Yeah.
wanna touch on what you said in terms of building it together with people as well. And this is a really interesting point. And I think it can go both ways. I think you've done it the correct way. I've seen a lot of people, including myself, do it the incorrect way before as well. What's important when collaborating, in my opinion, is that the people have to have the different skill sets, right?
Yes.
Because let's say everyone's got a similar skill set. Let's say you had 6 people who are all good at Instagram. Okay, you could create it quicker, but you're all kind of got that same skill set. It's not that much of a leverage. But let's say the amount of time it took probably your friend to learn TikTok was at the level she's in is probably years. The amount of time it took you to learn Instagram was probably years, right? So it's not only
Yeah.
are you leveraging that person's time to help get it quicker, you're leveraging the 2 years of that person posting and trialing and erroring and doing courses. So I think that's key for everyone that wants to collaborate. Yes, it's always going to be quicker if you collaborate with people. If you collaborate with people with the same skill set, you're not getting the most leverage. If you've got different skill set, sky's the limit. So
Yeah.
love that.
Exactly.
Love that there.
Yeah.
All right, Dre, there's going to be a lot of people listening to this that are like, all right, this woman is motivating, inspirational. I want to follow her. I want to purchase the course of her and do something similar. Where do we go to follow you? And is that the best place to also purchase the course if we want to purchase it from you? Or where do we go to follow you? Simple question.
So you can follow me at Digital Money Dray on Instagram. And both of the courses are linked in my bio. And if you have any questions, my DMs are always open. And yeah,
Awesome. And I'll put those links in the show notes.
thank
Dre,
you.
that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for today. Is there anything I should have asked you but forgot to, or anything you want to finish us off with?
No, nothing that you missed. I think it was great. I will just say that I think the digital marketing space, digital product space is genius, and it's really allowed my life. Like, I've already been working online, but like I feel like this is the most freeing business model I've ever been a part of, because
Yeah.
so much of it is automated when you build out
Yeah.
your systems, your funnels, and it really is like so beautiful, and it's just as good as it looks, you know, when you see all these other
Mm.
people doing it. And I really think that it can provide so many people like just a more free life, whether that's just, you know, adding some extra income to what you already do, or whether that's
Yeah.
replacing your income and allowing you to have more time freedom. And yeah, so I'm obsessed with this business model. So if you're questioning whether you should get in, you should get in. Okay.
Awesome. All right, Dre, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.